Good morning and good afternoon, depending on wherever you at. The time is recording. This is episode 145 of the Strangers on podcast, man. We're back at it again. Repeat, rinse and repeat. The three-man crew. Kyrie, introduce yourself to the people out here, man.
What's going on, fellas? Glad to be back with y'all, man. It's always a good episode when it's us, man. It's always a good one. Hey, viewers,
Yes,
make
it
sure you
is.
like, comment, and subscribe, man. Like, help us get up there, bro. Let's
It
go.
sure is. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Shout out to us. Johnny, what's the word? Introduce yourself to the people, man.
Listen, hello world. Just Johnny tapping back in again, baby. Listen, I'm just an analyst, not an advocate. We just analyzed here. And yes, sir, it was that time of year again, fellas. Somebody's mama's gonna be really happy. But
Ah,
hey, listen,
you
how
know
about that? But
what?
hey, we love the draft, right? We always love the prospects and the next
Yeah,
the next level players stepping in and just adding to the future of the league. But man, I'm telling you, like it's been a way for overseas players, has it not? Like over the
yeah,
past probably I want to say 10 years now. Like these overseas prospects have been stepping up.
yeah.
They definitely have been. They've been produced to them like that, like from all
Oof.
over, like
Especially
every
France.
like from
France
every
got to have
kind.
about to have possibly a back-to-back number one pick, maybe. So France is really out there.
Prince.
I don't know
Yeah.
what's in their water. I might need to go
hmm
over there. All right, but listen, man, let's talk about it. It's a mock draft, just a lottery version of it, though. This draft is really interesting, to say the least. Not too many star guys compared to the other drafts over the previous years, but you can look at least three to four and say those guys are stars. This one, you kind of got a bunch of the ceiling is maybe role player average starters, most of them maybe, and then the ceiling is actually pretty low, so really really low. So it's real tough to really do some of these mock drafts, but we enjoy it, and hopefully you guys enjoy it as much as we enjoy recording this episode. So let's dive right into it. Let's go into the first pick. You're on the clock, Kyrie. The Detroit Pistons. Who are you looking at with the first selection of the 2024 NBA draft?
Hey, look, man. I think Isaiah Stewart made this pick easy for them, going at Drew Eubanks last week, and he getting himself in some legal trouble. So
Okay.
I think they're in need of another big man. I think they're gonna go with the like you said, Collins gonna be back to back French top picks right as of right now. Alex Sarr.
Oh, really? Okay.
I really like Starr's game. I think he's still really raw. But he's got a lot of tangibles. He's got a lot of stuff to be like to be anticipative about. And I think he's got a lot of stuff he could develop. But he's got nice touch around the rim. He's got an okay jump shot. We got to keep in mind over there, he's only playing about 16, 17 minutes a game. So everything he does is in spurts. He's more of a role player over there right now. But being
Mm,
18, 19 years old, the numbers that he's putting up in that little time, almost 10 points a game, just over a block a game, he
right.
shows to be a pretty good semi project as a big man. I think that with a team like Detroit, you got nothing to lose. I mean, you got your guard set for the future in Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey. You got rid
Yeah.
of Killian Hayes, but it looks like Marcus Sasser off the bench is going to be a nice little microwave scorer. You got your
Mm-hmm.
guys already in that position, so I think you need somebody to pair with Jalen Durant up there. And it looked like it was going to be Isaiah Stewart, but not really. He's a guy like Star that I think down the line can be able to stretch the floor. He's going to be able to create his own shot. He's comfortable putting it on the floor at 6'10", 6'11". He's a very, very mobile big. And I think he brings something different to the Pistons from that big man position. And I think they could really use him right here. So for right now, I got Alex R going one.
Okay, Alex Starr, number one. That's Kyrie's selection, the
Tyler,
number one
I
pick.
forgot to shout. I forgot to shout out. He's brother of your former Kentucky guy, Olivier Sir.
Hey man, he ain't doing a goddamn thing for us.
Hey, I just had to
Let's shout out,
the
let's
Kentucky
shout out
man,
to
bro. That's
him.
a Kentucky boy.
Shout out to him though. Man, Kentucky got some dogs in this draft though. I will say that much. Johnny, who are you looking to pick with the first pick of the 2024 NBA draft? Who you got? Who
I
you
gotta
looking
go
at?
with I gotta go with the same thing Kyrie said. Mainly, I like
Mm,
Alexander Star too, mainly for the fit. And only because only that like he's raw, young, can definitely work with him. But the thing is, with him, he fits better. How long has Detroit needed a front court? They needed like some type of interior presence, some type of interior defense, a spark plug in the paint, somebody that can like run the floor. They can produce with a little bit of a jump shot, but mainly in the paint, big man. You have your backcourt set now, Detroit. Now it's time to take care of your front court. And I think this is the perfect fit for you at the time right now. Like he's over there, like you said, he's averaging about almost a little over 10 points a game, about 5, 6 boards, almost 2 blocks, maybe one almost 2 blocks. I feel like scouts were already saying Star would go first based off of like timing and what teams needed at that time. And honestly, he could have dropped if had the Pistons felt like they didn't need to attack that position. But I feel like they'll go ahead and pick him just for the smarter pick and what they need on their in their front court right now.
So is it a decision based on selecting the best talent, or is it going by positional need?
I think it's
I
going
think it's
by
a little bit of both.
position. I think yeah. It's a little bit of both. I'm leaning more towards positional fit. Leaning more
Positional.
towards
Okay.
that.
Okay. All right.
I think it
No,
is
I
both
mean,
though.
no, I don't disagree with neither
I,
one of you. I think he will be my first pick in the draft. I
I
mean,
think another
I
thing
mean,
too is I think Duren masked a lot of his defensive and physical weaknesses. Because we see Durant go out there and have 20 rebound games and really just light it up on the boards out there and be just an absolute menace as a rim runner on both ends of the floor. And that's not really Star's game too much. I mean, he gets those blocks off of length and coming from the weak side and stuff like that. But he's more of a, I see down the line him being more of a finesse big, shooting that little mid range 15 footer, putting the ball on the floor and getting lays at the basket. I see him being that type of big. So, like you said, Johnny, with the fit with the team right now and them needing a front court presence, I think that's the best guy to pair with Durant long term too. So that's also
Mhm.
how I was looking at it.
okay, all right, all right, all right. That's how. Listen, the last country that had back-to-back number one picks was Canada. So
Canada
yeah, remember
Yeah.
they
and Andrew
followed up
Wiggins,
with
Anthony
Anthony
Bennett.
Bennett.
Anthony Bennett,
Yeah,
right?
Wow,
Oh yeah, Wig.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, what a guy. Yeah. All right.
that
Let's
Wow.
go
was good
to
trivia, Colin.
they went from the worst draft pick to I don't know where to put Andrew Wiggins amongst their draft picks,
Uh,
but he's an all-star.
he's
So we'll go.
sustainable.
Yeah, we'll go over to Washington D.C. man, where they got the Butters and they say Slim, and it's just lit over Washington D.C. though. It's really lit over there. So listen, man, with the second pick in the 2024 NBA draft, Kyrie, I'm gonna bring it to you. The ball's in your part. Who you selected with the second pick of the draft? Because they need a lot of help from the guard position to the. They
Yeah,
got solid threes and fours. They got
yeah.
solid threes and fours.
As I'm thinking about the Wizards, and I was really iffy on this pick as I'm looking at my mock. Um, as I've been looking at my mock right before leading up to this episode, I kind of think I wanted to make a switch here because
Mm,
I really was looking at that guard position and the demotement of Jordan Poole to the bench, which we'll talk about later on our next episode. You guys stay tuned. Um,
no.
they really need help at the guard position. And when you look at their recent draft history and who their best players are right now, it's mainly in the wing. Denny Avdia, who's would really come on this past year. You got Corey Kispert. You drafted Bilal Coulibaly, who's really
Yeah,
like a
he
two
played well,
two
man.
through four. He's playing very solid too as a as a rookie. I really like his game. I think you need a guard, and honestly, that was supposed to be Johnny Davis, but he ain't been. He hasn't been nothing so far. So I gotta go with Nikola Topic right here.
Oh,
I really gotta go with him because one, I really love his game as a point guard. You know who you got. You guys know who he really reminds me of, Goran Dragic.
yeah.
And he has that grit, he has that toughness and that ability to get downhill, use his body, that 6'5", 6'6" frame to get to the rim and finish efficiently at the rim. And he's a really cut and dry point guard. He plays well out of the pick and roll. He's a pretty
Mm.
good knockdown shooter from the outside. He could be a little bit better in some situations, but he has a nice form, and I really think he can adapt once he as he gets older and once he gets adapted into the league. I think he's their best bet right now. Just somebody that could get all their other guys involved. Like I said, mentioned Koulibaly. Oh, you got to feed Kuzma, who's going to get you 20 plus points a game. I just see him as the next building block to this team. Seeing what we've seen from them this season, I mean, their lone bright spots have honestly been like Tyus Jones, who we've known as being a backup point guard. He's finally shown he's a starting caliber point guard in this league, and was getting like talks, like getting calls and stuff like around the trade deadline. So that's been their only bright spot, and they need help at that position. So
Yeah,
I
he might be the Wizards point guard this season.
might be, but you got to remember he's going on year 10 soon. So you got to think of the future.
He's been in the
Uh,
league for 10 years. Dang.
and yeah, I got to go with Topic right here. I really like his game, and I think he's the best.
I don't like Popers on the Wizards though. I don't know why. It makes sense though, but I don't like it though. I don't know why.
I don't
Why
like
is it?
anybody on the Wizards to keep it a beam. It's kind of like the Pistons. Like you don't really like having to put anybody there because of how bad their situations are and how much they're known. It's just like a couple years ago putting guys to the Kings and mock drafts. Like yo, y'all don't want to play in here. But it was like in Keegan Murray's case, it finally worked out for them. So
Bad pitch act up, man.
that just comes with being a bad team. You don't want to put these guys places, but it's like they're gonna get drafted.
I feel like the Wizards was just mismanaging though. That's why I feel like, but go ahead, Johnny, go ahead. Who's your
Well,
second pick?
it's about fit. See, like we always this is always there's always this time of year. It goes about what looks like it may fit right. And honestly, the Wizards need help all around the board. If you ask me, I actually wanted to look at their wing position, but for lack of lesser of them being more handicapped in the backcourt, I got to go with Topic as well, and that's only because, like you said, Kyrie, Johnny Davis, I liked him as well, but I feel like Topic is the best pick, especially even though that knee injury that he's coming off of 6 weeks ago, that may have like
Yeah.
looked like it might have hurt his draft status. But this kid, bro, like 6'6", 198. I think he's leading the league in assists, his respective league in assists, and he's second in that respective league in scoring. Not so much a 3-point specialist, but I mean in the ABA league he was averaging almost a double, 18 points and 7 dimes in the ABA league, and I think the year before that he was at 15 and 5. So he's showed the most impressive spurts and whatever for what you would need as a point guard right now. And honestly, coming from overseas, those players they just have a better mindset, I think. And the Wizards could use something, bro. They could use. I'm a Tyus Jones fan. I wanted him to come to our Sixers because that Wizards backcourt is just like it's a graveyard. You got to get out of there. But like you said, you're gonna get drafted. How you're gonna get drafted, and they do need a guard. Topic is the best pick for them right now. He's from Serbia. Those guys pretty much know how to produce good players. Very good basketball team organization, like how that culture is over there. I like Topic, man. I like him. For the Wizards, like you said, see, I don't like him for the Wizards, but we're talking about fit here. If they was to pick, they better pick Topic if I'm the Wizards, especially
And
after.
we're, if I'm the Wizards, I give the Jordan Poole one more year. Let's see one more year. Let's see how that goes. Because
Well,
You
you
this is
kind
the
of
paid
year.
you paid enough. You got to.
Yeah, right. Because this is the year. Like, all right, you done effed around this year. Like, this is it. This is like your make or break it. So I would think. So I think the Wizards are gonna ride out with Jordan Poole for one more year, just because it's too much money to just not ride it out with him. Like, you got to at least see what you can do for at least 2 years. So they don't
But
go with a
Colin,
guard.
if you're the Wizards, who do you draft, bro? Who you going with here? Since you ain't really like Topic there.
I would get Zachary. I can't pronounce his last name.
Research here. That yeah.
Richardson.
That's
That's what
clouding
I'm
up your
doing
wing
initially.
space. He's got to be able to
No,
play.
no, listen, but you gotta think Corey's not Corey. So this is what I'm saying. You can put Bilal at the three. You can put Bilal at the two. You can put Zachary at the three. Then you can put Denis at the four. Because
Yeah.
they're not keeping Kyle Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma's gonna move. I'm already putting that next season. He's gonna leave. He's not gonna be there. And if he is, you can
Yeah,
still
he's
switch
out.
him. You can still switch him to the five. He's 6'9", 6'10". So
I don't know about that because they offered him to trade him during the trade deadline. He said no, I want to stay here.
yeah, well, you know how that goes. The guy can say one thing, the team can be like, all right, and then okay, they accepted him for now, but if they see an offer they like, they don't care what he likes to say. They're gonna
No,
do
he's
what
right.
they gotta do. So,
You're
but
right.
I see that point though. But I'm gonna go home. I just feel like he's super talented. I was debating between him and Alex Starr for the number one pick. I just didn't go with him as number one because, like Johnny said, just positional wise, he wouldn't be there. But the Wizards, I think, yeah, I think he sits on the Wizards.
Okay, I like that because that's where I initially had him going, but I kind of seen Topic as the better fit. But I like your explanation too. That definitely makes sense.
I like it though. I like both his suggestions though. I just don't. Him at the Wizards. All right, let's get to the third pick of the draft. So the Spurs hold this pick. Now this is what I'm really interested in. What you guys got to say. So I'm gonna start with Johnny first this time. So Johnny, with the
Hmm.
third pick of the draft, it was Spurs, man. Who are you selecting with the third pick of the draft?
Honestly, bro, in the third pick of the draft with the Spurs, I actually wanted to put Zachary Richardson there in that place.
Mm, mm,
Honestly, I get why you wanted to put him up because he could fit anywhere. First of all, he's a 3-and-D
okay.
player,
Yes,
13-5 type of guy.
exactly.
He's 6'8", great wingspan, 204,
Yep.
and he's really committed on the defensive end, which has really got his stock rising. And honestly, you put him on the Spurs, putting him with Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, if he stays, Wemby's already still there. Like
Jeremy
it
Sochan,
can
yeah.
slowly add to the build, but we always talk. I always want to emphasize fit. I always want to emphasize fit with this.
No
I
doubt.
feel like Matas Bazulis from Lithuania is a better
Mm,
fit for the Spurs because they
Hmm.
work well with
mm.
overseas players. They it's a very they have they commit very heavy to overseas culture.
To
Those
be
guys,
to be fair, Johnny,
they
Richardson from
pretty much
overseas
thrive over
too.
there.
You're saying all my points right now for who I got selected. I'm gonna let you go ahead. You're
No,
nailing
I'm
it for me right now, Johnny.
Richardson from France. He from overseas too.
You're
Oh
nailing
man, no, but no, I'm telling you, he's a thick.
it.
Bazula is a 6'8", 209 small forward, and on top of that, I think he could score better.
Yeah, yeah.
I like Zachary Richardson. Yeah, 13 about. Let me see. He's averaging about Bazula's at 16 and 6 right now. So I like him better for scoring. And
Is
on
it
top of
efficient
that,
though? What's the field
he's
goal
shooting a better
percentage?
percentage from three. I think he's at about 43% from
44.
3-point range right now.
Oh,
Three, a little bit more. Yeah, on top of that, 23-point game and a Roger Serge game, he had a game winner.
yeah, yeah. He
Showing
did.
shooting consistency, a little bit of playmaking needs work. Yeah, they both from overseas, but I like Lithuania better, bro. Didn't they beat the USA team?
Hmm.
Didn't we lose to Lithuania? Then
We
they
did
got
lose to
they
Lithuania
do
when
better. They might do basketball just a little bit better. I'm not
Hey,
advocating. I'm just analyzing here. Not. But
listen,
yeah, I do like
it's the truth.
Matis Bazulis for that third pick, honestly, over much another aforementioned players for those said reasons. Oh, he's also shooting 54% from the field goal range altogether. Yeah, I like him better for that fit. I feel like he'll fit better with the Spurs. I'm picking
Man,
Matis Bazulis.
I'm shocked though. I didn't expect him at number three. I didn't expect him. So I will say I'm
He
shocked.
wasn't too
Great.
far off. They had him top five.
No, not top three though. I had Spurs picking them up. Now you said it. Maybe they might. They might. Kyrie, third pick. Who are you selecting?
I got
They
Richardson
need.
going here. I got
Oh,
Richardson going here. It's going to be another
oh.
Frenchman, Antonio. Um, for a lot of the same guys, so a lot of the same reasons you guys made, Johnny. I like the points you made about his defense. One of the things that stuck out to me was how good he is at closing out and in his rotation skills, like his ability to pick up on the open man and just being able to see ball. Like he's really
Him and
attentive.
Sohan would look good
And
together. Him and
it
Sohan would
really
be
would.
hard to score.
It'd be a lot of fast breaks and it'd be a lot of picks and stuff in the passing lanes. And you compare and what he has right now that Sohan doesn't have is a spot up jump shot. He has a nice clean spot up jump shot from that corner from that wing that I think is translatable from day one. He reminds me a lot of Keegan Murray. I didn't really want to make a comparison right there, but
Hmm.
watching him, I couldn't really like I couldn't help it. Like he looks a lot like Keegan Murray, especially it might just be the role that he's playing. And I know he gets to handle the ball a lot more, having those guard skills and stuff like that. But when he's playing off ball and he's able to come off the screens and spot up in the corner and stuff like that, spot up in transition, he looks a lot like Keegan. And I think he has a lot of translatable skills, and I think the Spurs can really covet that and add him onto that wing position. Like you said, you compare him, you can have him on the floor with like Sohan, on the floor with Wemby, with Keldon Johnson if he still stays the cell. He's very interchangeable. He can play a lot of positions. defend a lot of positions, and he's unselfish. I think he's a really really good all around player, and I think the Spurs could really like that here at number three.
Okay. All right. Great answers. I like them. Oh, I'm just gonna say the best choice is Nikola. So yeah, they need a guard. And what guard? Because remember I told you before this, I said Rob on ESPN. Jonathan had actually Rob at number three, which I kind of disagreed with.
Yeah,
It,
no.
because not because it's too high. Do I think he's talent level? Yes, not to get a little bit off topic, but the Spurs, that's Wemby's team. They don't need a score first guard,
Hmm.
right? Because Popovich don't play that. That's not him, right? Tony Parker maybe he allowed that, but Nicola is gonna be feeding like that and Wemby. That's a dynamic big man and point guard. Like I can see the havoc they're gonna cause together. And then you got Tyus Jones' little brother come off the bench, which is a great backup to me. So you got your star point guard in Nicola, and then you got Wemby, and then they could actually potentially have another pick in this lottery too. So we'll see how that goes. But that's my third pick. I just think,
Like Nicola there too. I had him
yeah,
going there.
I
I really
think
do like
Hmm.
that.
that's the perfect fit I see for him. But
Good picks,
let's
man.
go. Yeah, it is. Let's go to Charlotte, man. The Charlotte Hornets. And yo, Kyrie, I gotta man, I really wanted live to hop on because someone had played our clip talking about we was talking about Brandon Miller. And he
Yeah,
was bitching Brandon Miller heavy. He's like, yo, what you see a Brandon Miller's doing right? I'm like, oh man. So it's
yeah,
like,
yo, trust me, me,
yeah.
trust me, me and Lot talked about it. Me and Lot we
Oh,
talked about it.
yo, and I'm like, I remember Lon said he went, yo, that was crazy. I'm like, man, and that's crazy. I love doing this so people can show stuff. I love it though. Even if we're
Yeah,
wrong, it's no
honestly,
problem. We love it.
this is one of my favorite parts about doing. This is one of my favorite parts about covering the drafts. It's like being right on certain people, and you're gonna be wrong on certain people, and it's just like
Yeah,
seeing which ones is hit and misses. Like that's, and it's I don't care about being wrong. Feel me?
I don't
So it's like
care,
if I got
right?
like I'd rather see somebody do good than what I projected it. If I projected it to be ass, like it's
Yeah, exactly.
I don't get nothing from seeing them do bad. Like feel me? Like they do
Right.
good.
We don't wish
Proof
ill
is
will on these
wrong.
young
Chip on the
men.
shoulder.
Oh, for sure.
We don't wish no ill will on these young men. Just like Johnny says, man, we're
No.
just advocating. That's all. We're just giving our thoughts and opinions on them as strictly players. But nah, Brandon Miller's playing out of his mind. Like the
Uh
last
huh.
12 games, he's averaging 20 plus, shooting well from the field. Now, you looking at the Hornets, Kyrie. You got Melo at the one. The number two, they picked up Trey Man from OKC, where they traded for him. Is he the starting guard? He's been playing well too. Maybe they got a little bit of a backcourt there. Brandon Mills at the three, Miles Bridges. Who knows what the future is with him? Maybe they keep him, maybe not. But he's the four. Uh, listen, at the five, they picked up OKC. Who they just waived. He was part of the quote unquote twin towers with Shaq. He was supposed to be the twin.
Close to
Right.
Chelsea. Yeah.
And I'm like, hold on a sec, Kyrie, the Hornets. Now wait a minute. Hold on now. Hold on. There might be something there.
They
So
also got
listen,
Grant Williams. They got Grant Williams, who's been looking pretty good for them too.
I was gonna say
listen.
Grant Williams.
So Kyrie, I'm asking you. You see this roster construction? Who do you think needs to be added to that to really take this team to the next level with the fourth pick in the draft?
I definitely think where it starts where you mentioned before with Miles Bridges, who I like you. I think he's gonna leave this summer.
Okay.
Um, I don't think he really has anything else to prove or try to do in Charlotte because they're not really. He's getting older, and they're not really on the same timeline. They're still trying to build, not even rebuild. They're still trying to build because they
They're
never made
still
it.
trying to. Yeah.
And you got Lamelo Ball, the injury stuff to deal with. I think he's got to move on. And the perfect person in this instance to move on for him and replace him with, in my opinion, would be Ron Holland from G League Ignite.
Oh, see.
Um, and I know he gets a lot of flack because he's not a very good shooter. He's still very raw as far as like decision making and IQ wise. But one thing that I get from him and that I really like about him is that he's a freak athlete. He's probably the best athlete in this
Yes.
class. And
Mm.
before hurting his thumb and going out for the season in G League Ignite, even though it's G League Ignite is straight up garbage this year. Let's be real. I think they won like 3, 4 games, something like that. And that might be generous. But he put up like 19 points a game, 6 boards, about 2 steals, 3 turnovers, which I didn't like though. But he definitely turned the ball over a lot and shot 46% from the field, about 26% from three. Um, I, and again, here I am with the comparisons. Again, I try not to, but he reminds me a lot of like a Gerald Wallace, a guy like that could really get out in transition,
Oh,
really
okay.
at the
Oh,
rim.
like
He's
that.
not a big
That's a
time
name
shooter,
drop.
Oh
but
man, that's a day job, right?
he could definitely like what did Gerald Wallace do? Gerald Wallace defended. He scrapped.
Yeah,
He got
yeah,
out
Gerald Wallace, man.
on you, and that's all. That's exactly what Ron Holland does. He can rebound from that wing position. And I think he'll be another alley oop mate for LaMelo Ball. We've seen tons of viral alley oops between him and Miles Bridges. I think Rod Holler can help emulate not that close, but something similar to it. And I think he could be a very good player too next to Brandon Miller. I think they'll be nice on those wings. You got two guys that are about 6'8", 6'9", with some length, very athletic. I think it could be very fun if they pick up a guy like Ron
Yeah.
Holland, and that I think it can benefit them for their future too, and be somewhat of a culture change as well. Because Ron is somebody I see like from just some games I highlight to watch. He seems very competitive, and
Mm-hmm.
he plays with a lot of emotion and a lot of like intensity. So I think he's going to try to. I think if they could draft him right here and try to bring something a little bit different to Charlotte, but at the same time keep a lot of the same qualities from a star absolutely.
Okay, okay, okay. You know what? I didn't have Ron Holland at forward, but now I'm hearing your explanation. I think all of a sudden Ron Holland to the Hornets might be what's actually best for him. I didn't
And
have him at my
even if
four.
Miles does stay, I think he's a guy that you can still bring off the bench. You don't got to throw him into the fire early. I think he's still a guy you could bring off the bench and kind of like try to see if you could get that spot up knockdown, that jump shot from the corner from the
His jump
outside.
shot is bad though. That's the
It
work
is
in
bad.
progress.
So I think he's also a guy that if like say Miles does stay or they just have another guy starting in front of him like a Grant possibly. I think he's a guy that you can ease along. You get some teachings from a guy like Grant and from some other veterans around. And I think they can be patient with him because he's still young, and I think he's got a game that's really translatable. That just
He's
needs to
one. I think he's one of
transfer.
the youngest guys in the draft. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
still young. All right.
Hey,
Him and Mark Williams too. It just flashed through my mind. That's actually, oh man,
And
he
Mark's been
might
out
be on
all
to something.
season, man. Mark's been out like damn near all season.
mm,
He got to come
But
back.
just that potential though. But Johnny, fourth pick in the draft, who are you looking at? Who are you
eh,
looking to select to add to this team?
I'm looking at their maybe a young cat that they could bring up off the bench, to give them a spark, especially on the defensive end. We mentioned him before, but that's where I have Richard. That's where I have Richard from France going. I am going to the Hornets as an attempt
Mm.
to them trying to keep Lamelo's interest. Like, hey, let's give you another guy that, like you said, like a guy, a 3-and-D player. This guy seems to play better off ball. 13-5, like we mentioned before. Um, Easy fit for any team, I feel like, and I feel like he can add to that Hornets offense and much needed defense. It's giving me like I want to say Kelly Oubre vibes in his earlier
Mm.
days with Charlotte off the bench, like a little bit of defense here, can spot up, hit the three a little bit, consistent hustler. Don't really got to draw plays up for this kid, and he can still affect the game. He can still affect the game. Yeah, I feel like that would be a fit as well for him that Charlotte could be looking at. They wouldn't be wrong for looking at that. I liked him, bro. I really did. I didn't mean for him to go that low, but man, I'm telling you, this can't. When you got a playing style like him, he can fit anywhere, bro. Like you could put him on a team like the Spurs to adhere to Jeremy Sohan, or you could put him on a team like the Hornets to give them something they much needed as far as wing defense and maybe bench scoring and possibly solid role playing. So I liked that pick for Charlotte right there.
Yeah.
Actually, really like that because one of my main things that I thought was a weakness for Zach Richards here was his ability to create for himself and him going to Charlotte. with a guy like LaMelo if he's healthy, and a guy like Brandon Miller, his second year, who seems like he's going to take a big step. You got guys that can keep the ball at his hand from a creative standpoint and let him like learn that onto the side or let that develop. Because once guys get up into his grill, he loses the ball and he gets stripped and stuff a lot easy. So I actually do like that. I think that matches.
But he's a slasher. He's a cutter. He gets out on the run. Like he's very good off ball. So that
Yeah.
definitely Lamelo should have. Like I said, man, Charlotte. They got to find a reason. They got to find a reason to keep this guy's interest, man. They got to give Lamelo a reason to stick around for a
No,
little
I
bit.
think LaMelo love being a Hornet. It's just like they got to like Brandon Miller's a great second
That
co-star.
helps for sure.
Like if he the way he's been playing the past 12 games, and if he continues, like Lamelo got his help. He got his number two co-star. Now it's just finding like that third piece, and you make some great points, Johnny, too. If Zachary really does fall to four, I think the Hornets would be ecstatic. I don't think he'll fall to four, but if he was to, they would certainly take him.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I had I had Ron Hollins Jr. Ignite teammate at four because I just thought he's so smooth, and him and Brandon Miller when those two get hot.
Who's that list?
Uh, yeah, because that was I had because I was thinking, and now I'm thinking, man, maybe I don't know. But then now it comes down to what the team's looking for. Are you looking for the
Yeah,
athleticism, the
fair.
transitioning, and or are you looking for a guy that's going to give you buckets? He might not give you the defensive advantage of what Ron Holland would give you, but defense is always effort. It's always effort with defense. So do you think he could give you the effort on the defensive end? I'm so torn, Kyrie. Damn.
What
Yeah,
kind of puzzle are you dealing with here? That it varies from
Because
franchise to franchise.
and it goes down to which style do you like more, Ron's or you like I like Bazooka a lot more
yeah. I think I think if there was a go with Matas, he'd have to be more of like a bench guy because it'd be a
though.
little bit
Really?
redundant. You just got Brandon Miller,
That
and
is
Hmm.
true.
I,
That is true.
I really think he's going to get the keys a lot more next season, especially because this is like Lamelo's second, third year in a row. He's been nicked up,
Mm.
and it's always ankle and foot injuries and stuff. It just seems like he can't avoid them. So that's why we've been seeing this emergence of him. And I think next season it could possibly quite possibly could be the same thing. That's why I think a guy like Matas who kind of needs the ball in his hands. He's a good spot up shooter, but he likes to create in that mid range. He likes to use his length and his size against other wings and get that shot off in the mid range and get those fadeaways and stuff off. I don't think he'd have as much opportunity there in Charlotte.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay, Ron Holland. I'll switch from the top to Ron Holland because you definitely persuaded me. Zachary, that's only if he falls for four, in my opinion. So I don't think he'll fall for four. But
If he
let's
falls
go
to four,
over.
that's a good jump for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he does fall to four, I might tune into every Hornets game next season. Like straight watch, no matter how bad it is. I'm just gonna watch it just because. Portland at number five. So man, Scoop is a mixed bag of results. Um, some people still saying, hey, it's only the first year, he's playing the hardest position at the one. So you can't really do too much about that. Simmons at the two. They got Shaden Sharp, who's a guard slash three, but he's playing at the three, but he's really a two. They got a lot of guards over there in Portland. So it doesn't look like they need any guards. So Johnny, I'm gonna start with you. Who are you taking with the fifth pick in the draft
This
for
is
the
where
Portland
you
Trailblazers?
go for that reason. They have a lot of guards. This is where you go elsewhere. I like the wings. Anthony Simons needs like he can play that three, he can play around with that, but keep him at his natural position. Get you a wing player, get you somebody that actually is consistent field goal shooting and can ball handle to an extent. You just mentioned him, Kyrie. I like Ron Holland going here. This is where I like him at. Now,
Really?
Wow,
because of the simple fact, because another reason, because of the simple fact of what was scouts afraid of and what was getting on our nerves. You mentioned it, Kyrie, his ball handling and his assist to turnover ratio. This guy had so far, this kid, his decision making can be, it has room to be coached. Over 94 turnovers to like only 84 assists throughout his G
I
League
like that.
career. But yeah,
yeah,
so but that's bad, bro. Over 94 turnovers compared to 84 assists. throughout his entire G League span. But still, the almost 20 points a game, 46% field goal shooting. You go to a team where you don't got to handle the ball as much. You're not as responsible for playmaking for now. You already have guards. You can go ahead. You can fit. You can have plays drawn up for you. You can spot up. You can shoot. He's shooting 44% from the field, and he's giving you about almost 7 boards a game as well. So the kid, he's got a lot of upside here. So, but you put him in a position to where so he don't got to handle the ball as much until he's it's proven his decision making get better. But I think it goes for once again we talk about fit. I think Ryan Holland fits here better, specifically for what the Blazers need and also for what he needs, the team he needs to go to where as though they can groom the skills that need to be worked on with less pressure. And on top of that, he's already like got the natural ability to contribute in certain ways.
Okay, okay, all right. They expect Ron Holland for Portland. Okay, interesting. Kyrie, fifth pick with Portland. Who are you taking with the fifth pick?
I actually like that for Portland. If Bron is the drop, like I see a lot of people having him, that'd be a very good spot for him. But since I already have him leaving, I mean I'm going to Charlotte already. I got Cody Williams going to Portland,
I like
Ah,
it. That
Colorado.
makes sense.
now we
Um,
talking.
Cause that
That's the
was
one.
that was
That's the
my
guy.
backup.
yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I still
Mm.
want to see more from Cody Williams. Like
Okay.
I feel like when I watch him, he's he's not always the best player on the floor. And the last time I seen that was when they played USC not too long ago.
Mhm.
When they went into overtime, and a lot of times during that game, he kind of went ghost to me. And another prospect who some of you guys may have lottery, may not, Isaiah Collier, thoroughly throughout that game was the best player on the floor. And yeah, there's just certain times this season I've seen that with Cody Williams, but the bright spots that I've seen, it like nurtured the right way, and developed the right way. And I'm not sure if Portland's the right spot to do it, but they got the pick here, and he seems to have that talent. I think he could be something very very special. Um, at he's 6'8". He's got the ball handling ability. He doesn't really have a lot of weight on him, but he's still very fluid. He can move. He can get to the rim. He's a good lob threat. He's got a nice spot up jump shot. Even though he doesn't shoot it too much, he's got a good jump shot. His game is very clear cut, and he doesn't really do it, but he doesn't really need to because he has other guys on his team. Colorado's pretty good, but he doesn't create for himself much. You don't really see him shoot much off the dribble unless it's like a rush shot on a low shot clock. He doesn't really put the ball on the floor too much outside, like out on the perimeter. Maybe in that pinch post area, see him putting the ball on the floor and try to get a lay. But he's got a really intriguing game and a really intriguing skill set. And at the same time, I feel like he could be fumbled really easily. He's got a lot. Like I think he's got uh, I don't really know how to explain it, but I really feel like his bust potential is very high just because he's a bit of a tweener in my eyes. Like
Mhm.
I really don't know where if yeah, well, whoever dressed, I really don't know where I'll put him. I just don't really know what position he is because he's 6'8", but
He's a three.
he only averages about 3 rebounds a game. And I know he spends a lot of time on the perimeter and all, but at 6'8", you got to average more than 3 boards a game.
And what
And
he's light. He's about 190.
yeah, I
Yeah.
know another thing. And so is he like a jumbo sized guard? Like I don't know. Is he a three? Like I don't know. Some people have
I would
four.
say he's a three that could play the two because he can score, even though he hasn't had that takeover game for me yet. Which I
Yeah,
like. There's one prospect recently he just had a takeover game. I haven't seen that with Cody yet. So
yeah. But we seen him have games where he shot well. We seen him have games where he shot at a high percentage. And you gotta like that. He shoots at a high percentage throughout the season, 59% from the field,
About
45%
the
from three.
6. Yeah.
Um, he's unselfish. He does find his teammates and like big to big passing down low. It's just confusing with him, and I don't. I'm just not really too sure. I do have him going to Portland just because I think they do have a need for a guy like his size, who I think could turn into a very good defender, much like his brother did. J
mm,
Dub on OKC. I could definitely see him a guy that can guard multiple positions and be like a Swiss Army knife like his brother. But he has a lot of stuff to work on as far as like his lateral movement. He closes out real clunky and real like clumsily. He's got a lot. He's real raw in my eyes. I think he's got a lot to work on. I think just because this is such a weak draft, he and he's such an intriguing prospect, like size wise and skill set wise. He gets this upper edge. But I got to see a lot more from him. But I do have him going here at 5.
All right, Portland at 5, Cody Williams. Then you have who's your pick, Johnny? Just to reiterate for the fans.
Oh yeah, my pick. I was going on with Ron Holland. I liked him better for that fit for the Blazers. If
Listen,
he could
that's
drop that thumb, scaring people away, but if he stays in available, Blazers better scoop him.
oh man. I mean, this draft is interesting though. All of us got different selections and different picks. I like it. I love it. So let's go to Memphis, man. And Memphis is in a lottery, even though they're not really a lottery team. But man, they could really. I think Memphis will change this pick. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe I think really they'll probably trade it. But they do keep it. Johnny, I'm gonna start with you. Who would you select with the sixth pick in the draft if you're not trading it?
Whew.
I
Six
think the
picking.
Grizzlies got like they're stacked at their whole position. I would think.
Yeah, six pick at the draft. If I'm not trading them, honestly, if I'm the Grizz, do I mess around with my backcourt for obvious reasons of lack of inconsistency? Ja's due to come back. Obviously, we know. And then so you start thinking, who else do I really worry about my guard or do I worry about my
Hmm.
wing spot?
Oh, you got wings.
Honestly, Grizzlies, if I'm the Grizzlies, I'm going to stick to my culture. We're known for defense, we're known for blue collar, we're known for grittiness. This is where I would put Cody Williams. I
Ah,
go and get I go and get Cody Williams. I put him
okay.
right here for the simple fact that like Kyrie said, he's a tweener. We're not really certain on where to solidify this guy's position. The only good thing about tweeners is they have very good range as players. It makes them very you can't put them in a box, which can sometimes be a good thing. Their range as well. Intangibles, they might can guard more than three positions. Maybe they can only guard two. We don't know yet. But with that being said, if you put him on a team like the Grizzlies, bring him off the bench to where as though he can probably get him where he fit in defensively, and we can probably see where he's guarding and who he can guard, what position he can guard. Perimeter mainly, I'm thinking he'll showcase his defensive talents mainly on the perimeter. Like we said before, he's a buck 90, man. It's kind of light. He gets some weight on him. Maybe he can guard more positions. But as far as the one and the two, I like bringing him on for there. As far as putting him in Memphis, again, another player that can move well off the ball. You know what I mean? He doesn't need another guy you don't got to call plays for too much. He can get you on he can run out with you. He can spot up, shoot. He's good in the corner. Uh, Kyrie, what was he at? 59% shooting, 36% from three, I think. 30 something like that, flirting around. But yeah, Cody, a lot of upside to him. He is 6'8", but he's got a 7'1" wingspan. So it's like you don't know where he could be, but you know he could be somewhere. As far as the position he's playing, that goes with the fit better with the Grizzlies because of the position. He's a small forward. The Grizzlies need attention along their wing. I lie their front court a little bit. I love Jaren Jackson. He's got to have help. Um, if you don't want to do that, I also look at your wing first, especially for defensive purposes. I think this kid can contribute better on Memphis if he was to fall, if they was to get him, they weren't trading that pick. I put Cody there.
Man, you adding them over there with they already got two Williams. They got Vance and then they got Zaire Williams. So man, it's a third William over there, man. All right,
Oh
Kyrie,
boy,
who
you.
are you? Yeah, the Williams tree. Kyrie, who's your sixth pick for the 2024 NBA draft? Get the Memphis Grizzlies. Who you select?
Oh, I think Memphis needs front court help. So I think they're going to go with Tijane Salon from France.
Mm.
Um,
Oh,
these are guys whose highlights I've been like really enjoying watching. He's super fun to watch. Still very raw, still very
Yeah, he
young.
slipped a little bit because of the raw. I'm about to say a little bit raw.
Yeah, he commits a lot of turnovers and sometimes over gambles on defense. But he's a really good shot creator. He's one of these new breeds of like big like combo forwards at like 6'9", 6'10". He can grab the rebound and push the break. He's comfortable handling the ball on the perimeter. He's got a nice jump shot too. So I think that mix of grit and toughness on the boards and on the defensive end as well as a nice jump shot on the offensive end and able being able to go out there and create his own shot and get out in transition and score. I think he's got a really nice all around game that the Grizzlies really need from a guy at his size. And if and the Grizzlies these past couple years have really struggled with injuries. This year has been as the worst as I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But every single year it seems like they have a major injury going on. And but what I always give Taylor Jenkins credit for is the next man that steps up, the next guy that steps up, always plays well, is always prepared, and they always played it. They always play them to their strengths. We've seen it this season too. The Grizzlies, even though they've been bad, have some competitive games with their G League guys and their young guys. So I think Salon fits that mold and fits that type of player. And what I also wanted to mention was too, with Brandon Clark coming back from the Achilles tear, we don't know how he's going to be anymore because his
Mm.
game relied a lot on athleticism and on bounce. Usually he was a rim runner and on a lob threat. So I think you take DeJounte Salon here from Francis as insurance. I think he'd be a good pickup here at 6.
That's an interesting pick. That's an interesting pick. You know what? I was gonna put in the task. I was gonna put him here for 6. I think him. So you did say front court help, and he could be played at 3 and 4. He is 6'9", so he's long enough to play. So you can switch him around. You can put him between the 3 or 4. So you got Jaren Jackson at the 4, or you can slide him to the 5. Because Jaren Jackson is
Yeah.
what 6'10", 6'11". You can
Yeah.
slide him to the 5. You could probably put. Yeah, I actually like that. You could. I like Matthias over there. I like your pick too. I didn't think of that though. That's why I'm battling again. Yeah. Kyrie had me battling, Johnny. I don't know why. I don't like
And
that.
listen, though, it's all about puzzle pieces. Kyrie
Got
makes
me
good
battling.
points, bro. Memphis wants to stick to that. That's another good player that can give you both ends of the court, both ends of the basketball. And the thing about Memphis, bro, you're gonna play defense if you want to stay on that court, and
Yep.
you're gonna
Cody,
stay true. They're not gonna. They don't get no. Ain't no too many soft-minded players that's playing in
and then
Memphis,
but
and I
that's the
think he
thing.
fits
So
there as well too.
Cody will fit with the Grizzlies too, because he's got the physical tools to be that defender Grizzlies want. But I'm gonna stick with my pick. I'm gonna still stick with. I'm always pronouncing his name wrong. Kyrie, you have me pronounce his name? The Taz. I'm always pronouncing these guys' name wrong. I'm awful. I'm awful. All right, but let's go to the 7th pick in the draft. San Antonio has another pick. So they drafted for me they drafted a guard, but for you guys they drafted a different, not a guard. So let's see what Kyrie. I want to see with the 7th pick. Who are you selecting? Who are you
For San
selecting?
for San Antonio, I don't have a guard. Um,
What?
oddly enough,
Eh?
I think they go for a more veteran guard in free agency, but we're going to see. I think they go with another. I think they go with a forward with guard like skills though, and that's going to be your guy, Matas Bazeli. Johnny, you actually had him
Mm.
going. You had him going here at 3, not right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So
I
that's
did.
why that's why I like that pick. Because I definitely I have him going here at 7 if they have it. Because he fits their mold too. You're right. They do like for like overseas guys. Even though he played high school in America and played in G League Ignite, he still has like overseas like connections. He's a good outside shooter. He's a good ball handler at 6'9", like you said, Colin. And he's really good at exploiting mismatches, getting smaller guards on him and stuff like that, and taking them 1-on-1 and kind of throwing himself into the defense and drawing fouls. That's where I see his game being right now. But I think long term he could be a very good scoring option for the Spurs down the line. So I got him going here at number 7.
Yeah, I'm going. Okay, number 5. Okay, okay. All right. I don't dislike it. I don't dislike it. Johnny, give me your 7th pick. Who you got?
I'm gonna go with Reed Shepard out of Kentucky going
Oh,
there.
Reed.
You're one of your
Man.
guys. See,
I
I
don't
like
like
him.
that though, Johnny. I
I
ain't gonna
I
lie. I
like
don't
Reed.
like
I think
that.
they do go guard. I think they do. I think he's available. I think he's the fit. Honestly, that they'll probably be looking for. This kid's got burst, blow by ability. He can shoot. You already know. See, he's about 50% shooting field goals, about 8 boards, 17 points a game. Didn't he just give Mississippi State 32 points last night?
He sure
I just
did.
watched that highlight
Absolutely.
reel. I was like, this kid went off,
He had
bro.
a
It's
game
like,
winning block. That should have
Yep.
been a
yeah,
game winning
and
block. But,
Game
I
winning
mean,
shot.
he's
uh,
19 years old.
he
19
was
years old,
crazy.
6'3", 100, like almost 190. You know what I'm saying? Probably can guard the one and the two. I think he'll have some fun there coming off that bench.
Uh,
I think he can produce better for them. Like, how you like Reed? How'd you like him this year, C?
I love Reed. See why? Because no one expected him to play this good. If you
Mm-hmm.
look back, if you look back at the preseason comments, back to when before they played on Canada, probably when they played Canada, Calipari, Coach Cal praised every other 5-star. He would praise Reed, but he wasn't the main praise. You know,
Yeah.
he was kind of like the afterthought, even until when it slowly started after the Canada. After the Canada run, when Reed was just, he burst out of nowhere and said, hold on a sec. Wait a minute, Cal might have, he got something here. And then it's just been a train ride ever since. He's just played phenomenal from day one to the point where
There they go.
he went from a guy, even myself, I thought he'd be here for 3 or 4 years, to now people are debating should he leave after the first year in Kentucky or not. And I'm saying he gotta go. Because when's your stock ever gonna be this high?
This is the
Ever.
year. This the draft to do it, bro.
Right. This is and like you then this is such a weak draft. When is he ever gonna get to such a high? So I'm saying he leaves as much as I would hate it personally, but I think he does leave. I think he leaves. Because I don't think he'll leave. I don't know why. I just got a feeling that he
Mhm.
probably won't leave.
Really.
I don't know. The NIL because he's a Kentucky boy. His parents played at
Yeah,
Kentucky.
you're right.
His parents are legends for this school.
Prestige.
And the NIL money too, with all that reputation he got. I mean, God, sheesh. But then it's the NBA. That's what everybody wants to play. So it's like, I don't know. But we'll see. But the Spurs, I can see the Spurs taking Reed Shepherd. There's two teams I want so bad to draft Reed Shepherd, and the Spurs is one of them. So go ahead, Kyrie.
Wait, who are we
Oh,
on?
oh, you picked yourself.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
sorry,
he
bro.
already
Yeah, I'm
picked. He
sorry.
picked. Yep.
See, I was such a fanatic of Reed Shepherd
Yeah,
because I just
Bazule.
love him as a prospect. Yeah, I just love Reed. I really adore him as a player. All right, let's go to the eighth. Excuse me. Let's go to the eighth pick in the draft because this was the seventh pick. And the eighth pick in the draft. This is now. Listen, I want to see Kyrie. I'm gonna start with you because I want to see who you got. Because we talked about this before the air
Yeah.
about Jalen Green and how much and just him overall. So I want to see who you select with the eighth pick. They're looking for a guard. Who are you
Yeah.
selecting?
I don't think you're gonna like this. I think it might be a rough fit,
What?
but
What?
I just can see this happening. I think it's gonna be
Is
Rob Dillingham.
I
Like
knew it.
Oh
I knew
no,
it, bro. I knew he was gonna break his heart. I was gonna
no,
break your heart too. See, I was gonna break your heart too.
no,
And
it's gonna be Rob
I
here.
like Robbie. Go ahead, Kyle. Go
no.
ahead, Kyle. But God darn it.
First off, I want to say just because I really like Rob Gain, like forget the numbers, forget like draft position. I
Very
really
well,
like Rob
bro.
Gain.
I do
He's
too. I love
quick.
this game.
He's one of the quickest players with the ball I've probably ever seen. He gets to the rim and just super crafty around the rim, even though he's only about 6'2", a buck 75. Like
Yeah, for sure.
he's got a really tough game and a really like street kind of like feel to his game, and I really like it. And it's been working so far. At Kentucky, been put up about 14, 15 points a game. Almost 2, 3 dimes,
Oh.
2, 3 assists. Nothing crazy that stands out, but he's shooting good percentages as well too. So at 44%, I mean 48% from the field, 44% from three.
That's crazy.
I really can't complain. You don't really see guards shoot this efficiently coming in as freshmen, especially at Kentucky College. You gotta admit you haven't
That's
you
not
haven't.
true. That's not true.
Tell
Jamal
me who.
Murray. Jamal Murray. We had De'Aaron Fox. We had Tyler
That's almost
Lewis.
a decade. That's almost a decade ago we talking about,
Don't
bro.
tell me that.
Ooh,
Don't do that.
Decade,
We
that's
had
almost
Tyler.
a decade ago we talking about.
listen.
We had
And
Tyler Lewis. Come on now. Don't do us like that.
he fishing though?
Oh,
This he fishing though?
Jamal Murray. Malik Monk. Yeah, Malik Monk was there. Yeah. Malik Monk was
Yeah, I'm talking about real point guards though. Malik Monk was more like a two guard.
there.
But
Right. Then Fox.
my, I make my point though. I made my point. All I'm saying is when it comes to him in Houston. Oh, what I was gonna say was he first of all he gives me Brandon Jennings vibes. Like Brandon Jennings, like fresh like on the Bucks, like young boy Brandon Jennings.
Oh
Like that's what he
man.
reminds me of when
That's
I'm
for the young
watching him.
boys out there. They don't know who Grant Jennings is.
Yo, like
Yeah,
Brandon
man.
Jennings got to a bucket when he was like let's not forget he dropped 55 on Steph his rookie year. Like Brandon
Oh,
Jennings got to a bucket. But outside of that, when it comes to him and the Rockets, I think they need another point guard that can like push the pace with the guys like Jalen Green if that's part of their future. Men Thompson, who we see like we talked about it, kind of he's been emerging these past couple of weeks. And the Rockets like to run and they like to get it. They like to get the glass and Goon likes to throw outlet passes or bring it up himself and pass the ball. They're a team that likes to run. And a guy like Dillingham that can hit threes in transition, who gets hot in a pinch, I really see him working well with the team the like the Rockets starting off it definitely in like a reserve role because they got Fred VanVleet. We can't forget that, and he's owed a lot of money. They got Dylan Brooks in that backcourt or in that wing in that lineup as well, so he has to come off the bench. But a guy like Dillingham, bro, like coming off his first like starting off as like a spark plug and seeing these numbers how efficiently he's shooting. I could definitely see him having like an Emmanuel quickly Tyrese Maxey in their first couple years type of impact.
no,
Like
I
that's
think
that's
Rob's potential is better than that. I think he's on a Tyrese Maxey level where he could be an all-star point guard and be a dominant factor for the team.
yeah.
Because in my opinion, through all the various comparisons, I see Lou Williams and I see Bones Highland, and I don't like those comparisons because I think they're more so based on his physical appearance
Absolutely. Yeah.
rather than because you gotta think if I'm drafting within the top 10 or top five, do I really want a Bones Highland and Lou Williams type of guy as my top pick? That's what I'm gonna use my top five selection on. No disrespect to those guys, they had nice careers, but you're drafting to make a change for the future. Those guys aren't game changers. Those guys are they're not changing your franchise. They can age your franchise. I
Right.
think Rob has a lot of potential because he's playing with three guards. So people aren't seeing that he could be a point guard. They're seeing him as, oh, he's just getting you buckets, which is fine because that's what he does. But I think he could be a point guard too. So if we're drafting on strictly point guard position, because I don't think he's a two guard, he's too small to be a two guard. They say he's 6'3". He's really 6'4", 6'1". That draft combine is gonna say it all. Um, Houston though, man, I feel like Johnny. Who do you have?
Th- Yeah, see, I ain't want to hurt you neither, bro. I'm same thing with Kyrie.
Oh
Me and
man,
Kyrie on
you
the
riding the
greens. Yeah,
wave
yeah,
too.
bro. I mean,
Oh,
he
I
got the
dislike it, man.
he'll come off the
No.
bench. He'll come off the bench as a combo guard, 6-man role. You know what I'm saying? He's proven they like that, bro. They running gun. He's proven he's not afraid of the
He,
moment. You saw the game against Bama. Like he showed out. And then even I mean that
He's
LSU
smacking.
well,
game.
I wouldn't say he showed out against Alabama, but he did his thing. He
Well,
showed
he
out
showed out in
against
that LSU
LSU.
game. Y'all almost came
He
back and
That's
beat him
did.
for that buzzer beater. He
He
dropped like
showed out
16
in
of their last
Tennessee.
18 points. Like he dropped like 16 of the last 18 points in that LSU game. Y'all almost beat him. So he's proven like he can get to that bucket when it's much needed. And yes, bro, the Rockets need that right now, especially given from their
I
backcourt.
don't.
He'll come off
Uh,
the bench as a combo guard, 6-man role. And you said you see a Lou Williams. That's a former 6-man right there.
nah, but his potential is better than that. I think he could have like Tyrese Maxey. You give him and he worked and he could possibly be that lead guard. Lou Williams is kind of like that's probably like the floor at most. If he never becomes a
Well,
point guard, he'll
he's
just be the
19.
undersized.
He
He'll be the undersized guard that'll get you buckets, which is
he
fine.
he
Right,
he
but
19. He
but
19. Lou came in at 18,
I
17,
had
18.
Jacoby Walker
Young boy
at number
19.
eight.
Like
That's
he
who I
like
had.
it's a
Jacoby
good
not a
fit.
bad pick either.
Jacoby fits the Rockets more so than Rob Williams
Walters
because I think that's the guard
that
because
high?
listen, I think that's the guard because he gives them defense that Rob just not that Rob doesn't can't play defense. It's probably
Jacoby
just
defense ain't all that crazy.
it's better than Rob. You watch Rob like I watch Rob.
No,
Man,
I know.
Rob, listen, Rob,
Jacoby bigger than Rob, so it's just like, and Jacoby got like a 6'7", six. I mean, it's like a 6'8"
Yeah, but
wingspan.
Dilly get to a bucket.
no, Jacoby gets you a bucket, not but Rob does it in a way where it's just
19
shifty.
for
It's just
80.
shifty. It's shifty. And I get it.
Jacoby,
Like,
yeah.
but I think
He's hot and
Jacoby
cold.
gives
He's
you
hot about 19 for 80 over his last 13 games from the 3-point line. So he's a lot hot.
Cool. He did snap against Houston though.
Yep.
He did
he
sit
put
on
the,
Houston.
he put that work in, especially in overtime. No, overtime he was
Yeah, Big Wood gave him like
Yeah.
25. Gave him a quarter, right?
yeah.
No,
He
23, almost a quarter. Yeah, so
I
for
just
sure.
feel
And that's the
like
number 2 team. So yeah, definitely respect.
I just feel like
I ain't wrong with that.
Jacoby.
See, I ain't all right, not
Yeah,
bad,
yeah,
not
yeah.
bad.
No, I mean I can see why y'all went with Rob.
I
Me
had a couple
personally,
name drops that went kind of high for
it just
y'all.
wouldn't be the
So
best
I get
position
that.
for Rob to reach his full potential, in my opinion. The Rockets are. I can see why you guys put him there. I just don't think for him to reach his max potential. I don't think the Rockets are the organization to do
Jacoby
that.
ain't bad.
Yeah, but I can see why though. They probably will probably draft him if he does. If he does fall to 8, which he will. But let's go to Oklahoma. My team, my second team after the Sixers, man. Oklahoma Thunder up, man. You know how we rocking. We might have 2 picks in this lottery draft. So listen, Kyrie, I'm gonna start with you. I know one player that perfectly fits Kentucky, and if none of you guys, I mean, if none of you guys say his name for this draft pick, it's gonna be surprised. So I'm gonna go ahead with you, Kyrie.
Yeah, and number 9 for OKC, I got them picking up Reed Shepard. I really like this pick for them. Uh, Reed's really fun to watch, yo. He's really
He'll
like
go.
he's like a Swiss Army knife type of dude.
You hear
Um,
the man, Johnny? Do you
when
hear him?
we talk about a smooth catch and shooter coming, like whether it's spotting up or coming off the screens, coming off of flare actions and stuff like that. Smooth shooter. On the defensive end, that's where he impressed me the most because he's such a pest. He seems like he's everywhere all the time.
And
Maybe
there he
not in
goes.
one-on-one situations, maybe not in ISO situations, but as far as playing the passing lanes and picking off passes and reading and making reads, as far as the weak side blocks he gets closing out, he gets a bunch of blocks closing out on jump shots. Like he's a really like I don't even want to say sneaky good because we tend to say that about the white hoopers. Let's be real. We tend to say he's sneaky athletic. No, he real deal like athletic.
No,
You
he
know
is. You
that
got to
shows
check
in the
on that
game.
block off the one
Yeah,
foot. He
that's what I'm saying.
jumped. I said, "Oh, hold
Like, he's almost averaging 3 steals a game, just under a block a game at about 6'3", 6'4", 12 points, 4 boards, 4 dimes.
That'll get you drafted.
Shooting 53% from the field, 51% from three, and 83% from the field.
That'll
on."
get
He's
you
Over 4
drafted.
attempts with the 3. Over 4
there
attempts with the 3.
if he was 6'6", he'd be top 3.
you go.
Like
He
if he
might
was
be.
6'6",
He might fight for that number 1 if he was 6'6".
yeah,
At
I'm
that
saying
point.
like Reed Shepard's a really nice put together player. And I was telling you, Colin, you was trying to argue with me, but I think between him and Rob, as far as Kentucky goes, he's the more ready NBA prospect. I
Well,
I had
he
Rob
picked
going
a
before
Kentucky
him
player, Colin. Say thank you.
based off
No,
of talent alone, but I think Reed got the more translatable
y'all
game.
be trying to sucker me in.
Kyrie picked a Kentucky player. Say thank you.
I got him going
No,
back to back, bro. I got him going back to back.
see, I don't see that though, and I'm more high on Reed than Rob, and I told you why Reed. Reed, you any one of these 8 teams, you can put Reed in and he'll be fine.
Hmm.
Now, maybe the Grizzlies, I would kind of be like, maybe, but
And the
outside of
Wizards.
that, yeah, yeah, any other team because like when I was watching them play, like the last 6 minutes versus that when they was playing against when they played Auburn, then they played Alabama, and then when they had played LSU, and then Washington played against Mississippi State, especially the Mississippi State game, watching how he impacted the game in so many ways. the block at the end. Like he hustled, raced to block the 3-point shot, and he
Mm-hmm.
jumped up like I think a lot of people thought he wasn't athletic until they see their highlight when they really show you the slow mo how high he jumped. It was like, oh, he got hot, right? I just thought to myself, he was such an OKC player. He's the type of guy Sam Presti loves. The intangibles and the skill set with the intangibles. That's why he drafted Casey Wallace. He said he drafted Casey Wallace because of his intangibles and defense. And I think OKC and Reed Shepard is a match made. And like, imagine the backcourt of Chase and Wallace coming off the bench with Reed Shepard. That's two defensive minded, smart, high IQ basketball guards, and they can get you buckets. I think
Yep.
Sam Presti's a little high on that. I'm not gonna lie on you. I think we might have just told it what we might have just gave like a sneak peek of what's gonna happen in the draft. So if it happens, we predicted it first. Just letting you know. Lee Shepard, OKC at 9. That's just what it is, guys, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's go to the 10th pick in the draft. Johnny, you didn't choose your
I
OKC
was
pick,
gonna say,
did you?
Johnny, did you give a pick?
Johnny
I'm
didn't
about.
do it.
I'm about to say. I'm about to now. I'm about to now, y'all. I like the Reed Shepard pick. That category. He can fit anywhere with the way he plays. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna look at OKC's front court here, and I'm gonna mention somebody like they've been
Oh,
missing Steven Adams, bro. Like
oh,
they've been missing a presence on the interior. I feel like they're locking up their wings, they're locking up their bench, they're locking up the obviously the point guard position.
you must have
They're
forgot that
lock.
boy Chet Holmgren that foul.
I like Chet. I like Chet. And I think I still like he can put for him playing the five consistently. I think he thrives more at the four position where he can really just like hold his own on defense and just take advantage on offense every single time. And you bring over another big man that can help him do that more. I like
Hmm.
Kyle Filipowski from
I
Duke.
like that. I like that. I like
Kyle
that.
Mm.
Filipowski from Duke.
You still, why you got him? I got him. All right, good.
It's all about the puzzle piece, Steve. What we remember, we go back to the narrative. It's all about the fit and what puzzle. What does your puzzle look like? If I'm OKC, I'm looking at the middle. I'm looking at that middle. Ever since Steven Adams left,
That's
we
such
haven't
a
really
good pick.
solidified that spot to where as though we should be able to feel comfortable going into the playoffs, especially if you want to make a deep run. We're talking about OKC making a deep run in the playoffs. Like it's a new day. And with that being said, you need interior presence, man, and especially whether you're starting off with it or a backup. Now the cat, now this guy, this kid, he's 7 feet, almost 250, right? But I'm
Mm-hmm.
telling you, he's quicker than he looks. These scouts are giving this guy a lot of credit for his lateral quickness, his ability to guard the pick and roll, his improved shot blocking, improved shooting, and he's an underrated passer. I mean, he just had he had a nice little swing. He just had 17 and 8 against who they go against. I forget who Duke just played
Forrest?
last.
Wake Forest?
Yeah, was it Wake Forest? No, was it the yeah, it
Or
might
they
have been.
play Syracuse?
Okay, yeah,
Uh,
he almost posted a double double. Almost posted a double
uh,
double in his last game out. Shot 50%, and
I
he
think
had
he
no
played.
turnovers.
Did
So
he play Syracuse or Wake Forest?
Well, they do play today, but I don't know if Kyle played because of the whole thing that happened at Wake Forest.
Oh yeah,
okay,
the court
that now
story.
that might be the game I'm
Okay,
talking about when he had the
okay,
17
Wake
and
Forest.
almost 10.
Yeah.
And
Okay, yeah.
whatever and posting there. But as far as that concerned, he definitely showed he can score, definitely showed he can finish. Gives OKC a lot of defense, a lot of basically paint presence, bro. And that's something that they've been lacking these past couple of seasons. And he's still young, about 20 years old, but still can be groomed. I like him there. I like Kyle Filipowski. Yeah, I like him
Okay.
going to OKC.
Listen. Hint. OKC Jazz both. I'm convinced. We already gave you guys a job. We told you what it is now. RVP. Tune in, leave a like, comment, subscribe. All right, we're on the 10th. 4 more picks to go. One the 10th pick. Atlanta on the clock. Kyrie, you're Atlanta. You're the 10th pick of the draft. Who do you select?
I gotta go with Jacoby Walter. We mentioned him before, the sharpshooter out of Baylor. He's a really good relocation shooter. He's a guy that can get the ball, pass it, relocate somewhere else, and be ready for the jump shot at all times. I really like his game. He's been in a shooting slump up until the Houston game this past weekend. When he dropped like I think you said 23 points, Johnny, or 25 points, something like that. He had a bunch of threes. He's really got a nice stroke, and he's really got a nice shooter for him. And I think that's something he could ride into he could ride and use it to the NBA. He's an okay defender. Colin tried to give him his flowers earlier as being a really good one. I wouldn't say that yet, but he has shown flashes. He has shown ability to stay in front of his man and use that wingspan to get into the passing lanes. But overall, I think Jacoby Walter would be a nice like reserve shooter starting off for the Atlanta Hawks early in his career. I kind of see him having that type of role because they're pretty much solidified everywhere else, and there's not many other bigs that I could see them going towards if they were to um I guess move on from Clint Capella. So I got them going with Jacoby Walter here.
All right, Johnny, who's your 10th pick? You're Atlanta. Who you select?
I'm gonna go ahead and grab Devin Carter. I'm gonna go ahead and pick him up from Providence. I like Jacoby Walter, but I think Devin Carter provides a little bit more defense. I just saw the game against. I just saw the highlights for their game against Xavier, Providence, and that cat and Devin Carter couldn't throw a rock in the ocean.
Hmm.
But on the other hand, he produced 4 blocks and 11 rebounds. This kid
Mm.
produces. He finds a way to contribute. He finds that looked like mental toughness to me. And along with the fact that he's had over 6+ games of 25 points or more, he's averaging 19, 8 boards, 4 dimes, and he's shooting 48%. Crafty pick and roll specialist. He's also giving you 8 boards per game for somebody that's about 6'3" and a buck 25. I mean, buck 95. That's very impressive to me. This kid's got a lot of grit, things that you can't coach. I see a lot of potential, like a lot of upside here. I feel like him fitting and coming off the bench at that 2 guard spot behind DeJounte Murray. We'll see if they even stick with DeJounte Murray, how Atlanta's going to play that process
Right.
out. But at the end of the day, I like this. I like this kid as a insurance policy. If I'm the Atlanta Hawks and I'm thinking about my backcourt and I'm thinking about keeping a sidekick next to Trey, so to speak. And even still, like he might can even come in and back up Trey because Trey's a walking double double. We said this before. We don't know about Trey's future with Atlanta, but we know right now he's their best option, and you got to give your best option help. And I think Devin Carter can come right into the backcourt of ATL and add some good things.
Oh, I mean, I think Trey Young. I mean, they gotta ride it out with Trey Young because you traded him for Luka Doncic. So it's like yeah, they kind of tied with him. They gotta make it work because we're gonna look back at this 10 years and say, "What the hell are you guys thinking?" But Trey Young is averaging a double double though, so it's like I don't know what the future is with the Hawks. Like, what is the future with Trey Young? You know, he's such a liability on the defensive end. But he's averaging a double double, right? So I don't
He
know,
contribute. Yeah, he
but
finds. Yeah, he contributes. He's so dynamic in other areas of the game. It's just obviously you see why he's in the position that he's in. But you bring in, but I think Atlanta likes to. If it's one thing they try to take pride in, it is their backcourt. A little bit, they like their wings a lot too. They'll give some attention to their front court, but Atlanta's always been known for their backcourt efficiency, and I think they'll probably stick with that here a little bit.
all right then. Well, I was gonna go with Dalton Connect from Tennessee. I thought he would come in just because, like you said, Dejounte Murray. What is the future with him? I just think he gives exactly what Dejounte Murray could do too. Minus because Dejounte Murray isn't even playing the high caliber defense anymore. Once he started, he's really transformed himself to an offensive guy, and the defense has been subpar past couple seasons. So I mean, why not draft Dalton Connect? He's been playing out of his mind right now from Tennessee. So he was my 10th pick for the Hawks. We go to the 11th pick, and we pretty much got OKC. I mean, listen. I mean, you got Chicago. Excuse me. We got Chicago. Chicago
Chicago.
with 11. Yeah, I'm so focused on OKC. Chicago at number 11. Now, who do you have, Kyrie, at number 11, man? You're Chicago. Who are you picking?
This might be a little bit of a reach, but I really like his game and what he's been doing
I
these
think
past
I know
couple
what
of
you're
years.
gonna say. I think I know what you're gonna say.
I don't think so, but it's going to be Johnny Furphy from Kansas.
Oh, damn it!
Who'd you think though?
I thought you were gonna say from UConn, Stephon Castle. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I was close to putting him there though. I definitely was. I thought about
So
it.
that's who I put.
That's a good job. But I like Johnny Furphy here for Chicago
Yeah.
because I feel like Chicago doesn't have a lot of they don't really have a lot of versatility coming from their players. When you look at their guys, even Patrick Williams, who was touted as this big 6'9" combo forward Swiss Army
Right.
knife that can guard all five positions, he hasn't really shown that. And I
Right.
think with a guy like Johnny Furphy, his numbers might not pop out until he's shooting. He's only putting up about 9 points or 4 boards a game. He's shooting 37% from three though, and 51% overall from the field. He's just a big target at 6'9", 6'10", about 200 pounds. He's got a lot of length. He runs the floor well. He's very fluid. He's just another one of those Swiss Army knife type of glue guys that does everything pretty like very good. And I think Chicago could really use a guy like this because they suck on defense, and they don't have guys. And I think it's because they don't have guys that can guard multiple positions. So I think a guy like Johnny Furphy, who doesn't, you don't really have to rely on him to score much. He doesn't really create his own his shot much. He's a good spot up shooter, good lob threat, good at running the transition, and He'll cause a lot of transition opportunities as well. With those block shots and those steals. So I really like him for Chicago right here. I think he might be a little bit of a reach, but I think he could fit well here.
Okay, that's fair. All right, you got, all right, you got Furphy. I had Castle. Johnny, who are you rocking with for number 11?
Kyrie, you beat me again. I'm gonna tell you though, I had Jacoby Walters. Originally I had Jacoby, right? But
Hmm.
bro, like you said, Furphy's the better shooter. That he's dropping, man. Walter is killing me because I this is where I had him going. But I dropped him and I put Furphy over him just earlier today when I was going over my list. And I'm like, this kid just dropped 16 at Texas. Like, yeah, he's
Yeah.
averaging like 9 and 5, but bro, he's showing better spurts. He's more consistent with his shooting. Like in already we already know the build 6'9", 200 pounds. And on top of that, he's another easy fit player, another 3-and-D player that you could fit somewhere. And on top of that, it gives you much added defense, and especially in your wing area, bro. Like Chi-Town needs that more than anything. Like dude, we don't know where their backcourt stands, but it's in better shape than their wing position is, and that's not saying anything. I know it's not saying much, but other than Dosimo, I'm sorry, I'm forgive me, I'm getting his last name,
So you
but
right?
I like Dosimenu or whatever. But you got Zach is here and there whenever he wants to be. Kobe's the biggest spark plug you got on your team this year. And that's your backcourt, bro. So other than that, you got to look at that wing. You got to start somewhere. And I like Johnny Furphy, man, from Kansas as well. The better fit, the more consistent shooter, and he gives you better defense, bro. I agree. I agree with Kyrie on this one.
Okay, man, listen, you guys got some great choices, man. I mean, I didn't think about Furphy, but you guys have had about four selections. You got me
It's
thinking out loud.
the status has been dropping and rising over the past couple of days, bro. Like that was a good college weekend last weekend. It really solidified a lot
Sure
of
was.
players, bro. We'll see what the
Definitely
Sure
did.
tournament
was.
comes from, but like I said, I had
Oh,
Jacoby
yeah.
at this, but he dropped, bro. Like man,
Okay, listen. All right, listen, I love it. I'm sure the fans will love it. Let's go to the 12th pick. We're back in OKC, Kyrie. Let's bring it back to OKC, man. Let's bring it back to
Okay,
where it's supposed to be at. The 12th
I
pick of
got
the
OKC
draft.
getting Yves Misky from Baylor. OKC needs another big in my eyes. They need another big in my eyes, and
okay.
I think they need a guy that can block shots, and they need a guy that can rebound because you got a guy in check that can
But
do that, and he can also
Kyrie,
shoot.
but my pushback is Kyle. Kyle could do like maybe he's not a
Yeah, I'm about to
defender.
say you like him over
Yeah,
Kyle Filippo because
I don't think
they
Kyle's that
definitely
good on
do
defense.
need that position. They definitely do need that position. But who's the better player?
Yeah.
Kyle's not that good on defense. He can score. He can get you a bucket in the post. He's got a
Hmm.
nice post game. He's got
Yeah,
a nice
yeah,
post
yeah.
game, good footwork. I like Kyle. but I don't think as far as like that defensive presence, that rebounding presence that OKC, I personally think they need backing
Hmm.
up guys like Chet and they small ball fours. I think Misi gives them more length, gives them more rim protection, and he's a better athlete. And on the
Okay. Oh,
Absolutely, for sure.
Kyrie's audio had a little technical difficulty. Hold on. All right, we're back in. All right, we're back in business. All right, supposedly right, not right now. A little bit of the issue. Hold on a sec. Man, can we get him in here? All right, Johnny. In the meantime, you could talk about who you have OKC at number 12 until Kyrie gets
Okay.
himself sorted.
I like what
oh
Kyrie was
god,
Oh
saying
wait, hold
too.
on.
I like
Oh,
what he
hold
was
on.
saying.
Yeah, we got Kyrie back in business day.
Bet, Kai.
yeah, my
All right.
fault. Yeah, I don't know what the hell just happened. I just lagged
Technical
out.
difficulties happen all the time. It's part of the game.
My
All right, we
fault.
back in business.
Yeah, I said pretty much everything I needed to say. I think
Yeah.
me fits in some of their needs long term, and
Got you.
can be a very good project to have behind Chet because they're playing very good without having that depth at the big man spot.
So,
So
so, so, so this is my
Surprising,
only
right?
push.
Yeah.
So this is my only pushback is because you said it's going to be a project, but they just released the project already, and that's why I'm like, you think they'd be willing to invest in another project? And I'm not saying that Kyle was way better than this is about like miles ahead, but he's not really technically a project because you kind of know what you can get from Kyle on the offensive end. Defensively, he's not horrible,
you're right.
and that's probably his safe haven because he's not horrible defensively. Because if he was just all offense, no defense, I would agree 100% with you. But what's
Yeah,
your thoughts on
and I get it but like comparing them, like comparing the two as far as players, Kyle was definitely the better player. Like I'm not getting that twisted, like
that? Yeah, of
But
whatsoever.
course.
what is this
But
about? It's a game. It's what fits, right?
exactly, it's about what fits, and I think it's about covering covering weaknesses before they become like real problems. And I really like Messi. He's a good shot blocker. He's not a good free throw shooter. We've seen that in the game against Houston last week. He made his first shot in the fourth quarter and
Okay.
got fouled and he missed a free throw to tie it up. So but outside of that, from what I really like what I've seen from him this overall this season, he's really high percentage around the rim. I mean, he's a rim runner, a
Okay.
clear cut. Like he is what
Right.
he is right now. And I think that's why he's a
Right.
gamble. I mean, he's a project worth gambling on here at what's it, number 12?
Hmm.
Number 12. Yeah. That's fair. All right. Okay. Okay. Hey, Johnny, who's your 12 for OKC? Who are you rocking with? Who you selecting?
Now, Jacoby, welcome to the NBA.
I
This
don't
is
like
where I
that,
put Mr.
Johnny. I
Walker.
ain't gonna lie. I don't like
This is
that
where
at
I
all.
put him. This is where I put Jacoby.
Let
I
me
put
hear
him
your
with the
line.
Thunder here. I say this is where they pick him up at 12. This is where they'll grab him. For the simple fact that Jacoby Walters, great talent, but things that need to work on: playmaking, shot creation, shooting consistency. This backcourt can help you out with that. It's less pressure. You can
But
play, still be you, and not have to just have to take over. You can come off the bench. You can produce slowly. You're gonna be playing on that second unit with Josh Giddey. They can put you in positions to score. He's only 19. He's got a lot. He's got a lot ahead of him. I think Jacoby Walter can get his shot better. Uh, he did come off a 23 against him, so he's shown spurts where he can play good. He's averaging about 4 boards a game in about almost 16. So at the end of the day, like yeah, I think he fits better with this team mainly because he wouldn't have to do as much. He can get in where he fit in because I feel like with Baylor, he had to shoot a lot. He's shooting a whole lot with Baylor, and it's making his percentages drop.
Mhm.
And I think it's making him look worse than the actual scorer that he can be and actually is. You come to OKC, a little bit less pressure. Like you come on the court with that second unit, better playmakers, put you in better positions. He's still 19, bro. This is lot of young guys in this draft this year. A lot of 19-year-olds, 18-year-olds, a lot of young guys in this draft this year. But the thing is, a lot of upside. A lot of upside here. I think
but
Jacoby Walters has a lot of upside. I think
so
this
there's
is where
my
he goes.
So I see your point, right? I see. I can see why, but and this is just my only pushback. They already have so many guards as it is, and the only reason why I threw in Reed Shepard because he's that type of guy. You could throw him in any lineup, and it's going to be positive. Because I've seen it at Kentucky, where Cal's played him in so many different lineups, but he's always been a like a positive. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I said necessarily guard wise I went with Reed. But Jacoby's more he's not I want he's not as versatile as Reed. Is he a better shooter than Reed? No.
Nah, I wouldn't.
He doesn't particularly is he a better defender than Reed? He's a better on ball defender than Reed, but when it comes to transitions and off
Yeah,
ball
you want to go
help,
to athleticism. I go to Jacoby. If you want to pick
I mean,
out athleticism.
athleticism, yes, he is better, but it's not. I mean, I've seen Reed make a lot of athletic plays, so I wouldn't say he's a liability athletically. And then they have Isaiah Joe, Doris, Jalen Williams, Jacoby.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I,
I'm
somebody
just saying
to
though.
rank.
I'm just saying though. That's just me. That's just me.
Mhm. Well, they
Yep.
already got their big man and Kyle and Filipowski, or who reset, but they already got their big man. But
Right.
in my draft, they already got their big man, so they'll go back and just keep refreshing that guard position.
Okay. All right. No, I'm just that's just my only
We'll
pushback.
see
I'm
what he.
just giving you
Yeah,
my
like I said,
perspective.
like he's definitely not logging heavy minutes, but as far as a second unit type of player, I would be interested to see how he runs with this team.
All right, that's fair. That's fair,
Just
Johnny. I
me.
respect it. I respect it. The advocate, not listen,
Just the analyst,
13th,
baby.
13th pick, the Kobe number. I call it the Kobe number just because he selected with the 13th pick, and I hope every 13th pick lives up to some, like at least have a good enough or solid career, just because. But the 13th pick in the draft, Portland, Kyrie, who are you going with? Who are you selecting with the 13th pick in the draft?
I gotta go with my guy Dalton Connect at a Tennessee right here.
Man, he's been rising, has he
That's
not?
it. See,
Has
that's
his
another.
man?
Seven. Okay, can
I'm
I, Colin? Can you let me
Go
explain before
ahead,
you start giving me your fit, bro? Hold on,
go
man.
ahead.
Look, one, Dalton Connect's one of the older rookies coming into this class. I think when you're a team, if you're a team like Portland, a team like Portland that's gonna have a bunch of young guys that you really gotta like nurture and you really gotta like take time to develop and stuff like that. An older guy like Dalton Connect that's been around, he's been through the transfer portal, he's played at a smaller D1 school, putting up 20 plus points per game in the SEC. He's got a real professional type of game and type of like vibe to him. I think he's a breath of fresh air to coaches coming in as a rookie because he's really he's more seasoned, he's more experienced, and I think older guys now, since like these past 10, 15 years, since juniors and seniors get such a bad rep for being older, and
Mhm.
people think you can't really build them or you can't really develop them past what they already are. I think guys like that, and especially a guy like Dalton Connect, who, like I said, how he made it, how he came up to and got to Tennessee. He's going to come in with it. He's a guy that seems he plays with like a chip on his shoulder and plays with a little like oomph to him. And I think a team like Portland could really cover that, since they're going to have to bring in another rookie, and that's going to be like 4, 5, 6 guys drafted in the past 3 years. It's a really young team, and I think having an older guy who, I think he has one of the most translatable games into the league because he's a
Absolutely.
catch shooter. He can shoot off a movement coming off the screens. He can create his own shot from deep. He can get downhill and get to the rim. He's not a great finisher, but he likes to go right and left. He can mix it up. And Dog Connect's a very, very good basketball player. And I think he'll give you a different type of vibe as a rookie compared to the other young guys that you got to spend so much time developing. You don't really got to give him too much attention because his game's clear cut already. He's going to come in, he's going to shoot, he's going to try to put that ball in the basket. Defense is another thing. At 6'7", he's definitely going to have to guard a lot of wings and a lot of guys that are going to want to go 1-on-1 at him. But
Right.
you worry about that later. You make sure you put the guys around him that can help with that. But a guy like Connect, I think if you're Portland, you can't pass on him, knowing that he's going to be an older rookie, and maybe he's probably going to be the one leading by example from day one because he's going to be older, the older of that bunch in that young class. And again, he's a
Okay.
very good basketball player. I think he can carve out a role in Portland.
Okay. Fair point. Fair point. All right. No, that you make solid points, Kyrie. I just feel like Portland's another place, and like you said, for those points you made, he'll probably be able to, carve himself out a role. And like you said, he is one of the older guys. They just have so many guards over at Portland too. It's just like an abundance. So it's just, but I feel like he could carve himself. I mean, at this point, they're gonna have to do what the Magic would probably have to do. They would have to trade a couple of the guards. Like this is gonna be like trial season for them. Like this year, the rest of the year, how they goes, because it's just a lot of guards. But I like your choice, Kyrie. At first, I was gonna say, oh nah, but now hearing what you said, I like it. I like it. Johnny, give me your thoughts on the 13th pick of the draft. Who are
Don't
you
worry about
taking?
don't worry. See, I know it's a lot of guards that's been mentioned, especially with the team like Portland. I got a guy for you that's also a guard, but he can also give you a little bit of the three position as well. Now,
Who you
real
talking about?
quick, I'm not mad at Dalton Connect. I just want to say I'm not
I'm
mad at
not.
Dalton
I
Connect.
like Dalton.
He just dropped 24 on Texas A&M, and that was those were fun highlights
He
to
sure
watch.
did.
Like
He
40%
sure
from the
did.
3 point line, he's a sniper. So I'm not mad at that. And he's been his stock has been rising, bro. Like I said, stock over the past couple of days been up and down. I got another guy. Like I said, I got another kid. He's also one of the older players, and I agree with you, Kyrie. Like they get a bad rap as far as not
Hmm.
being able to be molded, but I like maturity with these players. I'm old school, always been a fan of that. Terrence Shannon Jr. from Illinois, another
Wow,
old head,
Kyrie,
23
I
years
forgot
old,
about him. Oh man,
23
I
wow.
years
forgot about
old,
him.
He tore
can
his
play
ACL a
shooting
couple years
guard.
ago.
Yep.
Mm-mm. Oh, he
Can
did.
also play small forward. 6'6", 225. About over the past 4 games, I don't know if we've been watching Illinois that much. I know some of our fans probably have. I know we got Illinois fans listening in here. Big props to this kid. He's been dropping 30, averaging 30 points over the last 4 or 5 games. And I mean, listen, we're Penn State lovers up here. He ain't had to drop 35 on us like that. Like, are you kidding me? Like he showed out, man. He's got spurts over time and again over the college season this past year, where he's proven time and time he can contribute. He's averaging 22 points a game. He just had 30 against Michigan, shooting 47% from the field, 4 boards. Now I will say he's got off the court issues, which is probably why he's going down this low. He's got court allegations that he's fighting. He's got a hearing on May 10th. But if all can go well, I got Terrence Shannon Jr. making a splash off the bench in Portland as that a spark plug for that team. And on top of that, he gives you versatility because there's not too many guards. You can slot him down at that three spot. He can guard both. He can guard the 2 and the 3 as well, which can show signs that he can contribute better. But I really, really do like his upside ever since he's been coming back. Like I think he's been back since January, since the new year, and he has not missed a step, bro. Like this cat's been balling. So if he can get his
Okay.
off the court issues settled, I like Terrence Shannon Jr.
He was not in my lottery. I was debating to have him put in the lottery, but I have him in the top, like between 15 to 20. Say that much. Um. All right, Kyrie, Johnny, we're on to the last selection of the lottery. We're going all the way to New Orleans, and I'm gonna start it off. I have Rob being selected at 14, and I
Okay,
hate that. I hate that because
that's a
I
good
don't
spot for him.
believe. No, it is. It's really the best spot for him. I told you it's three. It was three spots for Rob Dillian because this draft is so not in his favor.
I'm just
Like,
happy. Wow, see, you finally mentioned your boy that low,
yeah,
huh?
I know. I'm shocked. I really initially, I really had him. I really had him at number 8, and then I said, nah, I just Rob just wouldn't be able to be Rob if he go to Houston. So I'm like, what teams would allow him to be Rob? And it's really the Wizards, maybe Chicago, maybe Chicago, and
Chicago.
then Yeah, and then New Orleans, and I got him at 14 because I don't think Stephen McConnell. He's not a point guard. I don't care what nobody says. He's not a point guard. All right, he's just playing the point because they don't got a point guard. So Rob, but it's still Zion and Brandon Ingram's team. But I think that's the best place for Rob to really be able to show what he can do. So Kyrie, the 14th, the last pick of the lottery. Who are you taking with the 14th pick?
I don't mind the Rob shout out. I like that for him. And I definitely think that's plausible too. I definitely think Rob could scare some teams away with his play style, and he could possibly drop that low in the lottery. But I got Stephon Castle going here from UConn.
I don't
Um,
dislike it. I like it.
I
I
I
like it.
had higher hopes from him. I'm not going to lie to you. His season's kind of giving me the same vibes as Cam Whitmore's season at Villanova last year, whereas I so
Mm.
much from him. And Cam in a way delivered, but Stephon in a way this year has been a little bit more passive.
Because he's
And
off the bench, Because he got such the UConn is just phenomenal. We gotta give
UConn, UConn's one of the best teams in the country, so I definitely
right.
think you can. And plus, they got another guy, Donovan Clingan, who some may have in a lottery or right outside the lottery, who's a
I'm
very
surprised
good.
I didn't say him yet, which is crazy.
At 7'2". I mean, he's going to be like the next Walker Kessler. Um, but with Stephon Castle, he's a good jump shooter. He's good at picking his spots. He's not a super bouncy or like athletic, like super like explosive athlete, but he makes do. He plays with a great pace, and he plays angles well, kind of like Reed Shepherd does around the rim. Like he's not super. He's not going to explode to the rim, but he plays his angles well and can draw out fouls. Um, I want to see some more from Stephon. Maybe come tournament time, maybe
Yeah.
he breaks a little bit more and get some more shot opportunities, a little more aggressive. And I want to see some more of his defense too. He seems like he's very good at staying in front of guys. He can get over screens when he wants to, but I just want to see a little more consistency. But overall with him in New Orleans, I just think he'd be like just a young piece they just bring up over the next like couple years.
Well,
Because
he would be what they expected Dyson Daniels to be.
from a productivity standpoint, yeah, but Dyson gives you something different. Dyson's more of a perimeter defender, inside scorer. He's like a big oversized guard with no jump shot. Like, I mean, this is what it is. Stephon's got a bit of a jump shot. He's a little more. I'd give him more free reign when it comes to trying to create a shot for himself. To try to get me a bucket or something like that. Like I don't know,
That's
but
it.
I got to, because it's so like starts to get murky towards the end of the lottery right here with all these guys. I think Stephon's the safest pick here for New Orleans at 14.
Okay, Johnny, we ended off with you. Last but not least, go ahead, break it down for us.
Donovan Clingan, bro. Donovan Clingan. Donovan
Okay.
Clingan. I'm glad y'all mentioned him. That's actually why I had going to New Orleans for that last pick in the lottery. He's giving you 12.6 boards, 60% field goal shooting. He had a good showing against Marquette, number 4 Marquette, 17-10 against them, and they beat him. He's a good rim protector. He can score low. He's a low key good scorer. Uh, good size, good mobility for his size, pick and roll defense. But honestly, like, yeah, I'd be surprised if a team didn't use a early pick is like that on him because he's got backup center potential. So I wouldn't look at the Pelicans for not picking him right away. But at the end of the day, like you said, UConn is
Joey
such a good
Valanciunas.
organization, such a good school, bro. Like Donovan Clingan was one of the standouts there. I wouldn't be surprised if he went to the
Is Jonas Valanciunas still on the roster? I think he is.
Yeah, he there. That's why I
Yeah,
said
yeah.
backup center. That's why he's got backup center potential. So I'm not sure how much
They
they
might as
would
well
put
trade
a
him, man.
value like that into backup center off of a lottery pick. I'm not sure how much they would value a backup center, but I know he's got the type of upside to where so he can give them that interior presence off the bench when Valanciunas is down. But uh, like yeah, they're pretty much because they're pretty much solidified. I like their wings. I like their backcourt. They could just they get it, can't go wrong with adding to their front court a little bit, especially off the bench. I like Donovan Clingan.
I like
All
that
right.
for him. I
Okay.
like because
Yeah.
Even though Valanciunas is still there, Val is still very productive. I like watching Val play for them. He plays his role well and he knows what to do. But he is getting up there in age though. He's rolling
I was
on. I
about to
think
say he's 32, 30. I'm like, they might be looking to trade him.
yeah, having a guy like Klingon who I think can learn a lot from Valanciunas. Because Valanciunas is a
Yeah.
very good rim protector. Val developed a jump shot throughout his career. He didn't have that when he first came to Toronto. But he's a very good big man. He's a very solid big man, and I think he can learn a lot from him. I really do like that pick right there.
All right, then. All right. And that concludes the lottery 2024 mock draft from the Restricted Zone podcast, the three-man crew. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode as much as we enjoyed recording it. A lot of us had different answers, a few back and forth, but it was all good and fun in the debate. And I'm with these guys, so the episode's always dynamic and enjoyable. So, like I said, hopefully you guys enjoy this as much as we enjoyed recording this. You can follow us on all streaming platforms. I'm talking about Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Google Podcasts, you name it, we're on it and we're free. Especially on YouTube. This is going to be on YouTube, so turn on the post notifications, leave a like, comment, please subscribe, give us any type of feedback, negative or positive. We want to hear it all, what we can improve on, what we should work on, and what you guys like about us and what we should keep doing. You can follow us on Instagram and social media accounts. The link will be in the description below. It'll be everybody's Instagram page, so you can DM directly in the Instagram page of the podcast itself at Restricted Zone Pod. Our logo is on there. Can't miss it. Give it a follow. Share it with your friends. Appreciate the support. NBA episode right around the corner. Be on the lookout for that. The next mock lottery draft we'll probably do is probably during after March Madness. So we'll check in back in with you guys and we'll have it complete because everything will change from here.
We
So
gonna
March
have some
Madness.
March Madness content for y'all
We're
too.
gonna have so that the March Madness content will be what keep you guys, a little bit fed until, the meat and potatoes. Well, the March Madness will be in the potatoes. So I guess the one post lottery would probably be like what, the side maybe
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah. But episode 45 is done. Appreciate you guys. Enjoy the episode. Make it back home safely. If you're listening to us while you're driving, if you're home, cozy up. Thanks a lot for the support, guys.
peace.